Hello everybody, Bitcoin today from Mallorca, for Mallorca and the rest of the world. Well, before we look into the financial market, the crypto market, I think we have a quick look to the weather in Mallorca. Well, and what we see here is the bay from Alcudia. As you can see, it's beautiful weather, no clouds at all. People jump into the sea already. It's about 23 degrees and it will stay like this for the next days. So really nice. So now I think it's time to check the financial markets. Well, we always start with the 2 years bonds and the 10 years bond yield. As you know, we are more or less in a banking crisis. And the one thing we see this morning is we are not inverted. It's 3.9% on a 2 year. It's 3.4 on a 10-year. This is a good sign. So maybe tomorrow it will change again, but at least this looks healthy because this is what you expect, that you get more interest rate on the short term than on the long term. So what we have to check is obviously the interest expectations for the 3rd of May. As you guys know, we had an increase of 25 points from the last Fed meeting last week. And we are now sitting on 4.75% in the US. And important is the expectation from the bond market for the next meeting, 3rd of May. And here we see about 65% believe that we will sit on 4.7% meaning that we reached the top. And only about 35% believe we see another increase of 25%. So maybe we reached the top of interest rates. Well, that's a good sign. Here we have to see what happens with the balance sheet and check this on a daily basis. You see back from 2008 what happened, and also in the Corona area, very strong increase. Interesting is to see what happened in the last couple of weeks. I mean, they did quantitative tightening for about a year by increasing the rates and reducing the liquidity, but now they really print money again. They put it, well, as loans into the banks, and it's about 500 billion in the last week, more or less, as you can see. So this is the balance between fighting the inflation and not having more collapses on the banking side. And I think we quickly listen to what Jerome Powell has to say about this.
Simply flooded the system with money.
Yes, we did. That's another way to think about it. We did.
Where does it come from? Do you just print it?
We print it digitally. So we as a central bank, we have the ability to create money digitally, and we do that by buying treasury bills or bonds or other government guaranteed securities, and that actually increases the money supply. We also print.
Well, I think this is quite clear what he's saying here. They print money, and obviously they do it again. Well, they have to in order to save the banks. Okay, now we have to have a look on the major markets in the world. This is live. As you can see, it's blinking green and red. There's a lot of activity this morning, Monday morning, when we do the video. And here we see the DAX 1.4% plus. I just look into the topics. Dow Jones 0.7% plus, Nasdaq 0.5 plus. S&P 500, the most important, 0.8 plus, over 4,000 points. That's good. Nikkei from last night, round about 27,000 plus. And HSI, which is Hong Kong, minus 0.6, but still around 20,000 points. Interesting, when you go down, you see Bitcoin very much stable, gold a little bit down, but we will have a look into this shortly. Okay, so now we have to check, like always, the CNN Fear and Greed Index for the total stock market. We are still in the fear region, 33%. And important, we quickly check market momentum. As I just said it, we are around about 4,000 points. That's a good sign, stable. Sideways, important is the put and call options. We are still pretty much down. People don't go so much short. There's a slight increase. But it's quite a good picture here to see. People are not really long and not short. This is a good sign. And market volatility went really down. We had this peak here 2 weeks ago with all bank problems, and but we are moving towards the 20%. So the market is not so nervous anymore, but the sentiment is still negative. This is quite clear. All right, so we quickly check a couple of news like we always do. Hong Kong crypto firms seeing interest from Chinese banks. This is interesting. As you know, about 2 years ago, in the middle of Corona, China banned more or less the whole crypto market, especially Bitcoin. But now it looks like that via Hong Kong, the Chinese people come back, and this is a good thing for the crypto market, and this is also a good thing for the Bitcoin, by the way. All right, Bitcoin is 1 week away from confirming new bull market. Well, this is quite true. We are in the nowhere zone in the moment. As we will see, we're sitting around about $28,000, coming from $15,000, quite a nice increase. But it will be interesting to see in this week, are we going up, are we going down? This is interesting, and later we will check our models and we will see what the models say to us. But we are in a week of decisions, this I can say. Okay, we quickly check the market capitalization from Bitcoin in relation to the total global assets. And here we always see gold on 1, we see silver on 6, and Bitcoin is on 11. When we do the video, it's 541 billion, so close to top 10. Good. Now, we have to check Bitcoin live price. At the moment, 27,880. As I said, we are quite going sideways in this region, 27 to 28. This is what it is. RSI, this is on a 4-hourly base. Every candle is 4 hours, is in the 50% zone. A MACD underneath, they are very close to each other. So not much is happening in the moment. Okay, the next thing, we check the gold, very important. And gold, we quickly reset, and when we get the actual price here, this is a nice thing. We are in the moment on $1,953 US, so close to $2,000. Well, Bitcoin and gold performed in the last 2 weeks against the trend with the problems with the bank. That's a very good sign. People try to go for a safe haven. All right. Before we look into the Bitcoin future, I know you guys are very much interested about our price predicting models. Here the disclaimer: we don't give you financial advice. You have to make the decisions by your own. Try to get access from other platforms and from everywhere else. And we try to help you with our information that you avoid to make mistakes. This is basically what we try to do. All right, so we go to the Bitcoin future, and we just concentrate on the topics. And this is here the Fear and Greed Index, especially now for the crypto market. And we are on 64%. This is good. So this is a difference between to the overall stock market, which is in the 33% zone. Here we are in the 64% zone. So the sentiment in the crypto market and Bitcoin is much better than in the overall market. That's good. We see this on a 1-year timeline, that since 3 months we are moving around the 50% and now more 60%. So sentiment is good. We have to check the heat map, and you guys go on this website. The whole website is interactive. Our team in the background is working heavily on it. It's getting better and better every day. We try to help you with this information. Here we just look into the Bitcoin, and the Bitcoin is year to date around about 30% up. Well, we were down in November to 15,500, and since then we are about 70% up. Very good, I would say. All right, so next thing is market capitalization. The total market for crypto in the moment is 1.2 trillion. 47% is Bitcoin. Interesting is we have a constant increase in the dominance. So people go more and more in Bitcoin, and it's nearly half of the total market. That's very good. This is why we only invest in Bitcoin, by the way. We don't invest in any other cryptocurrencies because it's proof of work, it's not proof of stake, it's not the discussion with security and all that type of thing. And this is why we concentrate purely on this. All right, next thing is we have to check the future market. And as you know, future market can drive the spot market. What is future market? People bet on prices. And here we see, and that's a very good sign, an increase on the long side, which is the left, the green. And we see more or less sideways going or saturation on the short side. So people go more long than short. And this is usually a good pre-indicator that the price could go up. All right, here we have on-chain data regarding the spot market, which are the wallets. You can check by yourself. Important here is the Bitcoin loaded addresses. Every day about 100,000 more, consistent increase. We are close to 46 million. Very good. Bitcoin addresses dominance. It's still an elite market. Just 155,000 addresses control more than 66% of the capital. You can check these numbers by yourself. The same here with active addresses and number of addresses. Check it by yourself. It's all interactive, as I said. Okay, now we come to the Google Trends. Very important. What is the search behavior? As the price go up, people check more on Google what's going on about Bitcoin. So we see an increase. That's also a good pre-indicator for increasing prices. We quickly check the countries. Well, El Salvador on one, Nigeria, and then Netherlands, Switzerland, and Slovenia. We check the next 5. It's Austria, Turkey, Germany on 8, Belgium on 9, and Singapore on 10. All right. So next thing we have to check is a Bitcoin over 1 year's period. I think here we saw the bottom, which was about 15,500. This was more or less after FTX disaster in November 22. Since then, we see a very nice increase in waves. We see here the same thing with Ethereum. Ethereum is about 70% market capitalization. So these two coins, they have about 65% of the total market capitalization. But Ethereum is proof of stake and not proof of work. And this is why we don't invest in this. But there happened a decoupling since a couple of months. Before Ethereum was really following Bitcoin, not anymore. And this has to do with a discussion about securities and SEC in the US and so far. Okay, now we come to a very important predicting models, mathematical models developed from us or our technical team. We start with the Bollinger Bands, so-called Bollinger Bands. And you see they're still very wide, and but the candles they go sideways, and they will move to the blue line. It always will go to the blue line. So we see also on this graph here on the MACD that we reached more or less the top of the MACD according to the controlling light. You see it also here with the green bars, and the same thing here with RSI. So we are just under 70%, 64%. Now the rule is when you want to invest, and this is very important now, as I said, we don't give you financial advice, but this is the way how we act when we invest. We wait that the RSI comes down to the 50% zone. Well, best is 30% zone. 70% zone is overbought, and here down it's oversold. And this area of 50 is quite a good area to invest. This is on a daily base. To make a decision about investment, it's better to check the daily base and not the hourly base. So in the moment, we would wait with further investments. We see the same thing here with our Amen Bitcoin indicator. It's black, meaning we go sideways. We don't see an increase, but we also don't see a decrease. So it's a waiting period in the moment when it comes to investment. Same thing here on our cycle model. The yellow box is too big. We are nearly $5,000 overpriced according to our model. If you're interested in this model or the next model, go on our website, Bitcoin Info, and everything will be explained there. How do we come to these prediction models and how they work more or less. Okay, and here we come to another mathematical model which has two base cases, a lower one and a higher one. In the moment, we are moving more to the higher one, but both cases say in the end it's going to be 44,000, something like this. And here, this is the last model we have. It's a logarithm regression model. And here you see very nice how the Bitcoin works over the periods. And you can play by yourself, and you go on the website and you can go into the future up until 2030, basically. That's what it is. All right, you guys. So our prediction for the next 12 months to the halving, which is most likely going to take place in April 24, is still about $42,000, maybe 43, something like this. So as I just said, it can go quickly up and can be a saturation to the side. It can go slower, but this is according to our model still what we think it will be. All right. So looking forward to see you again tomorrow. I hope it was valuable information for you. And I say thank you and have a good day. Bye-bye.